Ladies and gentlemen, you don't need a crowd. You don't need applause. What you need is to shut your mouth and get to work, because real growth, it doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in silence, alone, while the world sleeps. You sharpen your blade. This is how warriors are built. You want to win? Then train when no one's watching, not when the lights are on, not when the crowd's cheering, not when your progress gets posted, praised, or applauded. You train in the shadows. You grind in silence. You bleed where no one sees, because that's where the edge is forged. Most people need motivation to move. They need attention to stay disciplined. They need someone to tell them, good job, but not you. You don't need eyes on you to stay committed. You don't need a pat on the back to stay locked in. You've built something stronger. You've built a reason, a mission, and that mission doesn't sleep. So when the world winds down, when others check out, you check in. You wake up before the sun, not because it's easy, but because it's right. Because you know that comfort is the enemy. You know that growth hides behind repetition. And repetition, that's not glamorous. It's not fun, but it works. Day after day, rep after rep, when no one's watching, you're earning it. You don't post about the grind, you live in it. While they scroll, you sweat. While they talk, you execute. And while they sleep peacefully, you're building war, ediness in your mind. You're building mindset that says, I don't need the world to believe in me. I believe in me. That's power. That's freedom. You don't skip the work just because no one's around. You show up every single time, because that's what discipline is. It's doing the work even when no one will ever know. It's pushing past your limits, not because you're being watched, but because you refuse to be weak. The truth is, most people are spectators. They want the results, they want the life, but they don't want the silence. They don't want the boredom of relentless discipline. But you're not most people, you're different. You made the decision to commit, even when it's lonely, especially when it's lonely, because deep down you understand something that most will never grasp. You are made in the dark. Success isn't built in the moment of glory. It's built in the unseen hours, the hours you wanted to quit but didn't. The mornings you got up anyway, the nights you didn't skip, every rep, every drop of sweat, every small choice, they all count, they all stack. So don't chase validation, chase mastery, chase strength. Chase the quiet victories that no one will ever clap for, because one day you'll step out of the dark and they'll wonder how you did it. They'll think you just got lucky. They'll say it was sudden, but you'll know the truth. You trained when no one was watching. The world is loud. Everyone's talking. Everyone's posting. Everyone's screaming just to be seen, just to be heard, just to feel relevant. Noise everywhere, opinions, distractions, false urgency, fake confidence. But while they scream, you execute. While they chase attention, you chase excellence. You don't need to be loud to be lethal. You don't need to announce every move you make, because professionals don't brag. They build and they move in silence. You're not here to impress the world. You're here to conquer yourself. The mission is not about followers, likes, or applause. It's about the standard. And the standard is non-negotiable. It doesn't care if anyone's watching. It doesn't care if it's popular. Standard is built in silence, under pressure, through consistent execution, especially when no one is clapping. You kill the noise by killing your need for validation. You silence the world by refusing to let it dictate your pace. Every second you spend explaining yourself, arguing online, or trying to prove something is a second stolen from your own progress. And that's unacceptable, because time is limited. Your energy is finite. You don't have room for ego or distractions. You're here for results. Let them talk. Let them guess. Let them doubt you. Because while they're wasting time trying to be loud, you're sharpening the blade. You're training the mind. You're stacking wins behind closed doors. And when it's time to show up, you won't need to say a word. Your work will speak for you. There's power in restraint. Power in being quiet. Power in not reacting to every opinion thrown your way. That's what discipline looks like. That's what control feels like. You don't flinch. You don't explain, you just execute. People will wonder how you do it, how you stay focused, how you stay consistent. The truth is simple. You removed the noise, you made a decision. You chose the mission over the moment, and now you're dangerous. You're no longer controlled by the crowd. You're no longer swayed by opinions. Your emotions don't steer the wheel. Your principles do. That's the edge. That's what separates the elite from the average. Because warriors aren't built through applause. They're built through silence, struggle, and solitude. You don't need the world to know what you're doing. You just need to keep doing it, over and over, until the results are undeniable. So stay quiet, stay locked in, and when it's time to show up, you won't have to say a damn thing. They'll already know. You want results? Then stop chasing motivation. Stop waiting to feel inspired. Because the truth is, motivation is unreliable. It fades. It lies. It tells you that you can skip today and make up for it tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. Only systems do. If you want to win, you need systems. You need structure. You need to wake up with a plan and execute it with precision, not once, not twice, every day, over and over, until it becomes automatic, until it becomes who you are. Wake up early, not because it's trendy, but because it gives you time to train, time to think, time to get ahead while the rest of the world sleeps in, snoozing their purpose away. You don't snooze, you move, you attack the day with discipline, you follow a schedule, a system, a process that removes choice and replaces it with clarity. Because choice creates hesitation, but systems create momentum. You know what needs to be done, you just do it. No questions, no second guessing, no negotiating with your weaker self. That's the truth about high performance. It's not about working harder, it's about working consistently and working smart. And consistency is born from systems. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if your system is sloppy, your results will be sloppy. If your system is soft, your life will be soft. But if your system is locked in, tight, brutal, and disciplined, so will you be. When others break down under pressure, you don't. Because pressure doesn't destroy systems, it reveals them. Your structure keeps you focused when your emotions try to pull you off track. Your routine keeps you grounded when life gets chaotic. While others panic, you stay steady because your system is in place. Your system is your armor. That's why you don't need more motivation. You need more responsibility. You need to take ownership of your process, own your time, own your schedule, own your habits. Motivation might get you started, but systems carry you through the days when you feel like quitting. Excuses are easy. Systems are earned. Excuses keep you comfortable. Systems make you powerful. One builds regret, the other builds results. So you have a choice: build systems or collect excuses. You can't do both. The mission doesn't care how you feel. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution, and execution requires order, discipline, and structure. That's how you win, not randomly, not emotionally, but relentlessly, through systems that do not break. Because when the storms come, and they will, you don't rise up by feeling motivated. You rise up because you've already built the foundation, brick by brick, day by day, and that's why you win. You want clarity, cut the noise. You want strength, cut the weakness. You want growth, cut the dead weight. Toxic people, aimless conversations, distractions that serve no purpose. They're not harmless, they're anchors. They don't just slow you down, they pull you under. Every minute you spend with someone who drains your energy is a minute stolen from your mission, and you don't have time to waste. This isn't about hate. This is about direction, about purpose, about choosing to walk the hard path alone rather than be dragged down in the comfort of mediocrity. Because if they're not pushing you forward, they are, without question, pulling you back. It could be a friend, a relationship, a habit, a group chat that talks big but never moves. You know what it is, you feel it. The gut doesn't lie, and deep down you already know what needs to be cut. The reason most people stay stuck isn't lack of potential. It's lack of pruning. They're carrying weight they should have dropped years ago, afraid to let go, afraid to be alone. But what they don't realize is that real power comes after the cut. Real growth starts when you clear the space. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of focus, and focus requires space. Space to think, to build, to breathe. If your circle is full of people who only want to talk, gossip, waste time, you'll never find that space, you'll never find that edge, and make no mistake, this is a sacrifice. Cutting ties hurts, especially when it's someone you've known for years, especially when it's comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of progress, and clarity doesn't come without a cost. You've got to be willing to sit in the quiet, to be misunderstood, to walk alone for a while. That's the price of building something real. That's the cost of focus. That's the discipline most people avoid. Emotional discipline. But when you do it, when you make the cut, you'll feel it. You'll feel lighter, sharper, more dangerous, because now there's no static, no weight holding you down, just mission, just movement. You don't need a crowd, you need direction. You don't need validation. You need execution, and you don't need company if it keeps you average. So take a hard look. Ask the real question. Are they helping me become who I'm supposed to be? Or are they holding me hostage to who I used to be? Then act. Don't hesitate. Don't overthink it. Cut the weak ties, not out of anger, but out of purpose, because you've got a mountain to climb, and you can't carry dead weight to the summit. No mentor, good. No help, even better, because now it's all on you. No crutch, no safety net, no one to blame. And that's exactly where you need to be. That's where strength is born. Not when everything's provided, but when everything's missing and you still find a way. You figure it out, you adapt, you overcome. You stop waiting for someone to show up and save you. No one's coming, and that's not something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace, because the day you stop relying on others is the day you become dangerous. Self-reliance isn't just about doing things alone. It's about owning everything. Your mindset, your discipline, your results. You don't outsource your mission. You don't delegate your responsibility. You carry it, all of it, with pride, with power. You're not looking for shortcuts. You're building resilience. You're not asking for the easy way. You're creating the strong way. And every time you fall and get back up without a hand, you build more than just strength. You build identity. You build certainty. You know who you are, not because someone told you, but because you proved it. You become your own commander, your own strategist, your own motivator. When the plan fails, you don't fold. You recalibrate. You try again and again and again until it works. That's the process. That's how warriors are built. Most people wait for permission, wait for validation, wait for someone to say it's your time. Not you. You take your time. You take your shot. You take responsibility for every inch of progress, every step forward. And you own the setbacks too. That's what separates leaders from followers. That's what separates the driven from the dependent. Being ruthlessly self-reliant doesn't mean you hate people. It means you don't need people to move forward. If help comes, good. If it doesn't, you keep moving. You don't freeze. You don't collapse. You execute regardless. That mindset, that's rare. That's lethal. The world is full of people who fall apart without support. One obstacle, gone. One betrayal, done. But not you. You don't fold. You reforge. You take the pain and turn it into pressure. You take the silence and turn it into clarity. You take every hit and turn it into fuel. This isn't about ego. It's about ownership. It's about building yourself so strong, so grounded that nothing can shake you. You can walk through fire and keep your focus. You can lose everything and still find a way to rise. That's not arrogance. That's power. So stop looking around. Start looking within. Everything you need is already inside you. The tools, the answers, the grit, the discipline. No mentor, no backup, good. That just means the only one you'll owe at the finish line is yourself. You don't need to shout. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to do the work. And when it's done right, when it's done consistently, the results will do all the talking. Too many people spend their energy trying to look successful instead of becoming successful. They post, they brag, they talk a big game, but when the pressure hits, when the moment arrives, there's nothing behind the noise, because they were building an image, not building themselves. But you're different. You don't seek attention, you seek progress. You understand that real achievement is quiet. It's not loud. It's not about convincing others you're great. It's about being undeniable even if no one sees you coming. Let them talk, let them doubt you, let them overlook you. That's fuel. Because while they chase approval, you chase precision. You train in silence. You prepare without applause. You keep showing up day after day, rep after rep, stacking small wins, stacking discipline, until your results can't be ignored. And when the time comes, when the lights turn on and the stage is set, they'll look at you like you just appeared out of nowhere, but you didn't. You built in the dark. You stayed focused while they got distracted. You stayed disciplined while they made excuses. You earned your edge, and that's the truth. You don't need to announce your moves. You don't need to explain your process. When the results hit, when your work shows up in full force, they'll speak louder than anything you could have said. That's the kind of power you're building. Silent, relentless, real. This is the path of the professional, the warrior, the one who doesn't break character even when no one is clapping, because you're not here for the applause. You're here for the outcome. You're here for the mission. You're here to become something that no one saw coming. But once you arrive, they can't deny it. Let your results scream. Let them echo through every room you enter. Let them be the proof of your preparation. You don't need hype. You need execution. You don't need noise. You need presence. And when you've done the work, truly done the Work it shows. No one can fake consistency, no one can replicate grind, no one can steal preparation, and when you've built in silence, no one can stop you. So keep building, keep showing up, let others chase recognition. You stay locked on the result, because when it hits, when it lands, when the world finally sees what you've been building behind the scenes, you won't have to say a word. Your results will say everything.